Students, today we're going to be talking about multiplying and dividing decimal numbers by 10, 100, and 1,000. We'll be using all numbers with decimals. I created a chart for you over here to help you. We're going to start with multiplication. So whenever you multiply a decimal by 10, all you have to do is move your decimal point one place over to the right. So you're multiplying it by 10, that's 10 to the first power, and you're moving it one place to the right. If you multiply a decimal by 100, that's 10 to the second power, or 10 with an exponent of 2. You move it over to the right two places. You move the decimal to the right two places. If you multiply a decimal number by 1,000, or 10 to the third power, you move the decimal to the right three places. Same thing for 10,000. It's 10 to the fourth power, so you move the decimal four places to the right. Alright, got it? Let's get started. Let's look at 4.795 times 10. Let's use our chart. We're multiplying this number by 10, so that's 10 to the first power. You just have to move your decimal place to the right, or your decimal point to the right one place, sorry. So we're going to bump him over. So he now turns into 47.95. You can write this along with me and see if you can figure out ahead of me what the answer is. 5.8345 times 1,000. Let's look at our chart. 1,000 is here. That's 10 to the third power. How many places do you need to move the decimal to the right? Notice it says right with an arrow. I know it's hard to see that. You're going to move it over. Let's see, we're at 1,000. You're going to move it over three places to the right. So 1, 2, 3. Here's your decimal place's new home right here. Alright, so now you can write your answer. 5834.5. 5834.5. That's your new answer. Let's look down here. Now I'm not using 100. I'm using 10 to the second power, which equals 100 because 10 times 10 equals 100. So I used this part of the chart, 10 to the second power. 39.719 times 10 to the second power equals, looks like we have to move our decimal to the right two places. See if you can do that on your own. Alright, did you get the same thing as me? Hopefully, I think that's right. 1, 2. So your new decimal home is right here between the 1 and the 9. We can actually add commas here. Sorry about that. Because these are thousands. 5,834.5 and 3,971.9. Let's look down here. 14.819378 times 10 to the fourth power. 10 to the fourth power is right here. You know you have to move your decimal four places. In case you didn't notice, there is a pattern. 10 to the first power, one place. 10 to the second power, two places. 10 to the third power, three places. 10 to the fourth power, four places. It also coincides with how many zeros there are. If there's 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to have to move it four places. If there's 3, you move it three places. So if you don't have a chart like this, just count how many zeros there are and move your decimal that many places to the right. That only works, remember, for multiplication. We're doing multiplication right now, not division. So let's do that on here. We're going to move him four places. 1, 2, 3, 4. His new home is right here by the 3. Alright, 14. It'll be, let's see, 148,193. 0.78. Just like that. Alright, now Now this one down here is a little bit different. You have to figure out what they're multiplying it by. How did they get 9.671? How did they turn that into 967.1? You have to figure out how many places they moved. Looks like they moved 1, 2, because now he's by the 7. So that means there's going to be 2 zeros on your number. It's going to be 10 to the second power, so it's going to be 100. So you can write 100 or 10 to the second power. That's what I would write. Okay. Now let's move on to division. Division is exactly the same, except you're not moving the decimal to the right. You're moving it to the left. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to change this. If your divisor is any of these numbers, divisor, you're going to move it this many places to the left. Oh, before we do that, let me tell you a joke. Okay? You ready? Who is the king of the pencil box? Think about your pencil box. Who is the king of it? Think of it. It's the ruler. The ruler is the king of the pencil box. Ha ha. Alright, let me start over and do division. I bet you can figure this out on your own, but I'm just going to show you a couple. Let's say we have, let me use purple, 342.915 divided by 10 to the third power equals what? You're going to look, how many times do you have to move it over? There's 3 zeros, 10 to the third power, you move it to the left 3 places. When you're dividing, you move to the left. So let's go. We have to move him 3 places. 1, 2, 3. He's going to go here. So I'm going to write the answer down below. It's going to be 0. It's okay to put a 0 in front of the decimal. 0.342915. You do not insert commas to the right of the decimal, so no commas. 0.342915. Let's do another one. 69734. So let's see. 69,734.23. Let's divide it by 100. So look at 100 on your chart. How many places to the left are you going to have to move your decimal point? Looks like there's 2 zeros. It's 10 to the second power. That means you move it 2 places to the left. Boom, boom. Here he is. So now it becomes 697.3423. No commas, because you only have up to the hundreds place, and there's no commas to the right of the decimal. In your work, you're going to have to figure out the difference between, sometimes they'll give you a number with an exponent, 10 to the third power, and sometimes they'll give you 1,000. Use your chart to help you. The zeros also help. If it's 1,000, that's 3 zeros, so you know it's 10 to the third power. Okay. Let's see. I guess the only thing to remind you of is division. The decimal moves to the left. In multiplication, the decimal moves to the right. So pay attention. Multiplication right, division left. All right? Excellent. You guys are going to do great. Thanks for watching.